empowerment are.
And the Christians being the majority in Ghana, what do you think will happen? And to me, that is a real test.
Yeah.
Prejudicial comments on it.
It is unconstitutional. If you look at Article 21C of the Constitution, it gives every Ghanaian an opportunity to practice their religion.
Why am I saying this? I'm going to use my life experience as an example. Before I decided to enter into SRC,
COVID is very important. HIV is equally important.
Agencies must do a lot. And Ministry of Gender.
I could see flashes of light, I could see shadows, I could see images, but then it stopped. I am now blind and have to be sad and all that.
There are challenges to this effect. So what do we do as a nation? What do we do as individuals? What do we do as organizations?
Je lance à toutes les personnes handicapées, aussi bien les femmes également.
Once you lack integrity, trust me, you are going nowhere.
A lot of people go to church and they are Christians, but they are not truly repentant. It happened to me, like only by the mercy and grace of God that I'm alive to share all that I've been through or went through.
Showing every Friday at 6 p.m. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on Twitch, as well as YouTube. You are welcome to Empowerment show, showing on Today Ghana News TV.
Let me say a fish, I won't do the brave, you are your monk or your fish, beat is a catfish, your catfish or your rahu, your barracuda, your tilapia medium, any your big size, any your red brim or clean dada, any your the ain't clean here, any your fish, egg fish, any your mackerel, any your croaker, any your snappers, clean one, unclean it, and all sea brim. Fish there, I won't do be pray. Means me will go in cry. You will not be on a one cast our bar. You get this over here, the open. You dear, your bamu papa, your bamu baby, you get this over there.
Yeah.
good evening to us all. You are welcome once again to Empowerment Our Show, showing every Friday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Today Ghana News TV. Empowerment Our Show is proudly brought to you by Today Ghana News TV, Web TV for best programs. I am convinced that our ardent followers and listeners can testify that indeed Today Ghana News is your surest bet with regards to best programs on Web TV. I certainly cannot commence this show without duly acknowledging my sponsors for tonight. Empowerment Our Show is proudly sponsored by Authentic Sales, Taylor the Cobbler, Afranis Cuisine, and Jody's Kitchen. Their social media handles would be displayed below the screen in the course of the discussion. I want to say thank you so much for always sponsoring our programs. And also, if you are interested in also sponsoring, you may contact any of our producers or send us a DM in our Facebook group. Okay, so I would also want to quickly acknowledge my producers for this show, Mr. Seth Adi in Germany and Mami Amma Rosie in London. Thank you so much for always making Empowerment Our Show a success. All right, and thank you also to my cherished viewers for always being with us. Today we have a very interesting topic, and we have a well-seasoned man in our midst. So today promises to be very exciting and educative. And today's topic is going to be, does Ghana have a golden future? This is a very critical question. I think you can also sit down and think about it before we commence the show. Does Ghana have a golden future? Okay, so let's quickly go on a commercial break, after which I would introduce my guest for tonight. Tonight promises to be very exciting. Kindly share the link and invite a friend as well to join us. Thank you.
Let me say a fish and who do the brave you are your monk or your fish, be to say catfish, your catfish or your rahu, your barracuda, your tilapia medium, and your big size, and your red brim or air cleaning dada, and your the ain't clean here, and your fish friend egg fish, and your mackerel, and your croaker, and your snappers, clean one unclean it, and your sea brim. Fish there, I hope you be pray. Means me will go in cry. You will not be on a one casauba. The giddy so benny the open. You dear, your bamu papa, your bamu giddy pa, you giddy some beba there.
If you are just joining us, you are welcome once again to Empowerment Our Show. And we say, keep being with us, keep joining us every Friday. And then also kindly follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. We also stream live on Twitch via satellite, so you may kindly view us on Twitch as well, especially those in the Eastern European countries. All right, so without much ado, I would want to introduce my guest so that we would commence tonight's show. There's this quote from Mark Twain, which I cannot agree anymore. He says, loyalty to country always, and loyalty to government when it deserves it. Most of us are always loyal to our government rather than our country. And Mark Twain is telling us tonight that loyalty to country always, and loyalty to government when he deserves it. Okay, so our topic for tonight is also, does Ghana have a golden future? Does Ghana have a golden future? I would want to quickly introduce my guest and then we'll set the ball rolling. Okay, so we have with us tonight Mr. Charles Augustus Sam, and he's an entrepreneur, a business consultant, a development advocate, and broadcaster of Ghanaian origin with a rare blend of hands-on knowledge, rich experience, and results-oriented network at all levels of the African political, business, and social world. His core business activity is foreign investment entry and consolidation in Africa. He's a dynamic new generational leader who promotes passionately a new African economic development agenda and the continent's strategic engagement as well as partnerships with the global world. Mr. Charles Sam's participation in the continent's development process over the last 30 years includes country and business introductions, facilitating the highest level government and business relations, representation, identifying suitable, capable, and credible local business participators for foreign business entry into Africa, public relations, unearthing opportunities development, securing the necessary authorizations, market consolidation, community engagement for harmonization, and matters around settling in. He has been a host for a couple of TV and radio shows, including Good Evening Ghana, Prime Focus, Evening Edition, Shaping the Nation, and One Nation, amongst others. His in-depth knowledge and understanding of both the African and foreign worlds, coupled with a rare understanding of the function dynamics of Africa's political leadership, has earned him the respect as an efficient lead negotiator for foreign participation in the African economic development agenda, the politics surrounding them, the necessary protocols, and makes him walk foreign business interests smoothly on the tight ropes of the corridors of power. Mr. Charles Sam is a respected public figure, very familiar in the media space, and noted for his passionate pursuit of revolutionary development. Charles, above every other endeavor, is engulfed in youth leadership and entrepreneurship development. He has captured the attention of many with his revolutionary ideas and maintains a healthy relationship with the various political sides on the globe. So this is a very rich history and profile of Mr. Charles Sam, and it's a great honor to host him tonight on Today Ghana News TV on Empowerment Our Show. Mr. Charles Sam, you are warmly welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We know you have a very busy schedule, but for you to be able to make time for us, we appreciate it greatly. We want you to, even though I've given a very long profile about you, kindly tell us about yourself, your upbringing, precisely.
Oh, wow. You want to go personal?
Okay. Into the discussion.
Normally, I don't like talking about myself. You know, and it's quite a lot because it's checkered. There's a lot of traveling when we're growing up.
Okay.
You know, in different places, different countries, and with a lot of different experience. I left home very early, and I sat on the field. I've hustled around the world before. You know, you may look at me here, but I have washed dead bodies before. I've baked bread before. I've cut grass before. You know, I've worked on farms before. You know, I've done quite a lot. You know, if I'm going to wait till I write some few books, then you can read them.
Wow, that's very interesting. So that means what people consider in quotes the menial jobs, you've actually done all those things before rising to this rank in society. That's really, really impressive.
Yeah, because in life you got to start from somewhere, and you should never feel too low or too big. Sorry, to go down low and start. If you look at even Jesus, look at where he was born, in a manger. You know, can you imagine? Sheep, goats, everything. But that was the savior of the world. Are you getting me? So where you start from doesn't matter. it's your determination, the vision you have, your determination, the strength of character, the integrity, and all the factors that pull together for you to get where you need to get to in life. That's what is important, not where you start from.
Wow. That's really great. I think our viewers, even with this little statement you've made concerning our background and where we start from, I think a lot of people, I believe, have taken something out of it, if nothing at all, from today's discussion that we are about to have. I know they've picked something with regards to not letting their background determine their future or determine their being on the ground. Yeah.
Precisely.
Thanks so much for that.
Okay. Let me, since you've requested, let me just give you a 2 minutes background on myself. Just briefly.
Okay.
Well, I was born in Accra, Ghana, right?
Okay.
To parents, my dad worked for the United Nations, so we travel around the world a lot. My mother is an educationist. My dad is dead. My mom is still alive. She's 85. She's still alive. Then we're a family of we're a family of 6. That is siblings. We are scattered all over the world, in different areas. But uniquely, all of us are doing something that enhances or expands the frontiers of humanity. So it's not just about money making or self. But my father taught us to think of other people, fellow feeling, love for country, some of these basic things that we need to know and then live with, so that we have a better society. So that's the sort of home I grew up in. I grew up as a Christian home. My great grandparents, I think, started Methodism in Ghana, Reverend Gadi Lacroix. So we grew up in a Christian home, with the right morals and ethics and everything. Then, of course, we had the best of education, both in and out of Ghana. And then, of course, my dad always said that, look, it's getting papers or degrees or paper qualifications is good, but it doesn't really matter as much as what you do out there. So I left home very early and traveled around the globe. Went around the globe. I've done quite a lot. I've been a marine navigator before. I was a second in command, chief officer on several ships around the world. I've done fisheries before, so out there with vessels, fishing and catching fish and freezing them and exporting them. I have done a lot of trading activity. If you're going to go into this, we're never going to finish. But I'm a very strong personality. I'm very strong with my views. I believe in this continent, not in words, but in action. So I have widely traveled on the continent, have a lot of activity on the continent, some of which you mentioned. And so I believe that we can turn around this continent. I believe that we can move away out of this despised situation that we find ourselves in. That if we can put the right things together, which we'll be discussing this evening, we'll definitely turn around and we'll make things happen. China used to be despised like us, but look at China today.
Yeah.
Korea used to be despised like us, but look at Korea today. Korea had literally the same GDP like us some years back. Look at them today, and look at us. But it is not all done. We can get this thing done. We must just agree on a set of objectives and what we need to do, and agree to work together, and agree to put some things away, and we can focus on the future, and that will give us a golden future.
Wow. That's absolutely true. I couldn't agree any more with all the submissions you've made this far. Okay, so we want to find out from you. Our topic today, does Ghana have a golden future? I want to find out from you. When we talk about a country having a golden future, what do we mean, or what do we anticipate to see?
A country with a golden future. Golden future basically means a bright future, a glowing future, a prosperous future, a successful future, a future that is sustainable, a future that is secure. So you are looking at a society that primarily has got good leadership through different times and seasons. This life or this earth is cyclical. It goes through times, seasons, and eras. Now, there was a time that we used to ride on donkeys, and donkeys was the means of transport. Okay, that was the era. Today, we're using aircrafts. There was a time that you had to go to a post office in Accra and then stand there in a long queue for long hours to be able to make a call to London. These days, on your mobile phone, just a click of a button on your mobile phone, a message is out there. You have a lady in London or a lady in Ghana say, "Babe, I'm fine." You can even see each other, and you're moving forward. So that is what a golden future is. A golden future is one that has got very good leadership through time. Okay, appropriate the right type of the right type of leadership through all the times. Okay, so leadership with a vision, leadership with that is competent, leadership that's got integrity. For me, the most important one is integrity. Because it's an issue of trust. There must be trust between leaders and the people. Okay, if there's no trust, nothing's going to happen. I'm not going to follow you if I don't believe you. So that trust must be there. There must be integrity. And that is what is lacking on our continent and in Ghana also as well. You look at all the administrations, there's a lack of integrity. So people are always questioning the validity of the goals they state, the programs, and all those things. It will come to that. Secondly, a country that has got a golden future has got a solid education system, an education system that produces relevant people that are relevant to the nation's needs, that is producing its goods and services. That's what the type of education we must have. Look, if you look at, for instance, the world we're in today, analytical thinking is the game of play. Now, in Ghana, you realize that we are more emotional and sentimental. Emotional sentimentalism is what we keep dealing with. No, use the head. We must establish hard, cold facts.
Yeah.
We must do analytical thinking. We must analyze that 1 + 1 is to be 2. 1 + 1 will never be 22. It's only in Ghanaian politics that 1 + 1 turns 22. So education, you must have the right education. All nations that have succeeded, all nations that have had a bright future, at a point in time, they invested in education. They had the right leadership in place. They also set up the right institutions that were working very well. They had the right laws that ensured that there was order in society. They also ensured that they had programs that for a sustainable future. Not only thinking Abiwa. In Ghana, we're always thinking Abiwa, the here and now. But in life, even God, what he told Adam and Eve was that develop the land, develop the garden, because so that it will go through generations and time. We must be generational thinkers. But in Ghana, it's Abiwa, the here and now. But we need to have a golden future, to have a future, a sustainable future. You must start working now, sowing the seeds now. Ghana is in a mess, a huge mess. And let's be very blunt about this discussion. Ghana is a huge mess, and I say it's a huge mess because with all that God has blessed us with, the gold, the diamond, the oil, the human resource, look at our condition. Very despised condition.
Yeah.
Look at nations we started with, like South Korea. Look at South Korea, look at us. South Korea's GDP figures are number 8 or 9 figures. Look at us. We're still struggling with 3 figures.
Yeah.
1 step forward, 10 steps backwards. And see, and that is problematic. So if you want a golden future, if you want a sustainable future, we want a secure future, We want a prosperous future. We must start sowing the seeds now. Ghana, if you look, for instance, when the floods come, the truth of the matter is that we all know that the water comes from the mountain areas, the highland areas, into Accra. We sat in this country drumming and dancing and fooling around, deceiving ourselves, playing games with each other, and didn't develop storm drains. All we had to do was develop storm drains. And decades ago, it would have been, let's say, 1/4 of the price.
Exactly.
We should have done that to make sure that the water doesn't retain under the land in Accra, but goes into the sea. Or we can even transform it like Israel does for agricultural purpose, vegetables, because vegetables are big business. And the Accra Plains, for instance, will be good for vegetables. So we could easily have done that. We never did it. And now today, look at us. It rains and then Accra is flooded. Because under Accra is all water. Accra is sitting on water. This is what we've done to ourselves. Other countries invested in those things, did all those things, put everything that was right. Whilst we were drumming and dancing and fooling around, they were busy thinking. It's now time for us. We've been shaking our bodies for too long. It's time to shake our minds, shake our brains, begin to think, begin to analyze, begin to think into the future, begin to establish hardcore facts. Stop being emotional. With determination, we must move forward, and we can do it. It's not an impossibility. As it is now, the road we are on, that we've been on for decades, we certainly are not going to see any golden future. Look how we are struggling today. Struggling with everything. We're struggling with everything at the time that everything is very expensive to do. Because if we had done them in the past, we would have saved so much money. It wouldn't have cost us so much.
So much, that's true.
As of today. So we're in a huge mess. But we can get out of the mess. There's a way out of the mess. There's a formula. There's an alliance that can take us out of this mess into a better future.
Absolutely. Wow. Those are great submissions, Mr. Sam. We want to further ask you that as someone or as a person who has been an advisor to over a dozen of African heads of state, the problems in Ghana are exact replica of the continent of Africa. So I want to find out from you, what's the main problem with Africa and Africans in general?
Let me correct something. I have not been an advisor to 12 African heads of states. I've had close relationships with a number of heads of states on the continent. And of course, yes, privately we discuss stuff as well, and sometimes publicly. So don't put it officially like I've been an advisor to them. No, I've learned from them. They've also learned from me. But we work together all in the interest of pushing our continent forward. That's really what it is. Now, there's a common thread running through Africa. Leadership has been our bane. It has been a catastrophe. Let's use the right words. Let's stop whitewashing or sugarcoating things. The truth of the matter is that African leadership has failed, has been a complete and total failure. That's the truth. Because a continent or a nation's success is not measured by effort. Oh, we have come a long way. No. Plans are far advanced. No. A nation's success is measured by results. What has been our results? All that God has blessed us with. Look, Singapore does not have gold, diamond, oil, or any of those things. But look at Singapore's economy. Look at Singaporean nation. The amount of it's literally a first world nation. And look at us with all the gold, diamond, and everything that we've had. Look at our despised condition. Sweden hasn't got what we have. But look at Sweden, look at us. Finland hasn't got what we have, but Finland has got the world's best education standard. So what are they doing right that we are not doing? We're just a bunch of clowns, jokers, people who are devaluing ourselves, who are not the serious people. That's the truth. Both leaders and people are not serious. We're a complete joke. And the earlier we wake up from this joke, the better for all of us. Now, the African problem, like I said, is leadership. You see, leadership must be visionary. You don't look at the next election. Chairman Mao Zedong of China said that politicians should act like statesmen. So you don't wait till you leave power before you start acting like a statesman. He says a politician, active politician, must act like a statesman. Now, statesmen don't look at the next election. Statesmen look beyond into the next generation or generations after them. That's what statesmen do, and that's what statesmen are. They don't look at the next election. Unfortunately, in Ghana and in Africa, it's all about the next election. It's all about get into power, use the instruments of state to enrich yourselves, loot the national treasury, and engage in human exploitation of resources that was kept in foreign banks to develop foreign countries. You have leadership must be competent, depth, knowledge, thought leadership. Leadership must be constantly thinking, using the brain power to get into a lot of deep problems and then solve them. You cannot have the same problems that we had 64 years ago. Ghana still has some of the same problems we've had 64 years ago. Why? So what is the essence of the so-called people who call themselves leaders? They're just power holders. They are not leaders. Leadership moves a people from one place to a far better place, not just somewhere. No. Leadership is what they move a people in totality, a collective, from one place to a far better place, far ahead. So it's about it's about comprehensive development. It's about long-term thinking. It's about futuristic thinking. It's about using the tools of the time and of the future, always making sure that you are preparing for the future. You are not preparing just for the now, for the future. Now, leadership must have integrity, and I want to dwell on integrity. Vision, great. Competence, great. But we must have achievers. And for you to achieve, the integrity factor is absolutely crucial, because leadership and the people must have a covenant or an agreement. I call it the covenant, the national covenant, and you must form a national alliance. They do their part as leaders. We also do our part as people. Now, we're supposed to come together and then move our country forward to make sure that within the community of nations we are respected. We have earnings that are coming in. We create our wealth because we are dignified. We are dignified people, respected around the world. This is what we have failed to do as Ghana. Let's say bluntly, very bluntly, we have failed to do it as Ghana. In place of leadership, we have had jokers, criminals, thugs, looters, and people who are self-centered, people who don't realize the potential and energy in people and help bring out that. That's what leadership is. Leadership is supposed to identify what is in our people, what is in line in them. the later is called the latent energy. And then translated energy help bring out that energy so we produce goods and services that we can not only use in our country, but we can also export for foreign exchange. Trade is about currencies. And the more you trade, the more your currency appreciates. The cedi, Bank of Ghana can keep pumping money to show up the cedi, or they can do all kinds of voodoo economics to keep the cedi a bit strengthened. The cedi will best be strengthened if we export heavily as a country. That's when the cedi will be strengthened. We must look at long-term sustainability. Everything about Ghana is short-term. Ocha, that's why we're in this condition.
Yeah.
Look, our education must produce analytical thinking. Go through our education, you'll find out that our curricula does not stimulate thinking. It does not. It doesn't stimulate critical thinking. It doesn't program you for futuristic thinking, to think into the future. So you only think about. As a matter of fact, in our case, it's such a disaster because we are not just doing the Abiwaha, we are litigating the past. The past that has failed. We spend the whole life. Listen to radio in Ghana, 6 to 10. We are litigating the failed past. NDC MPP. And NDC MPP and Akufo-Addo make some stupid mistake. And then what happens? The moment they bring the matter is brought up on radio, they start referring to what the NDC did. Then why are you there? Why did we vote you to come?
Equalization.
Yes, that's it. It doesn't make sense. And we allow these things as a people because we are also a bunch of stupid fools. That's who we are. I'm sorry, but this is what the language we need to hear as Ghanaians. So we can wake up, especially for the young generation, the youthful generation, because they have got the energy, they've got the talents, they've got the skills, they've got the fluidity and speed, and we need to program the young people to do a better job. That you see, the latter day rain is greater than the former.
Yeah.
So we must make sure that we do some hard talk with them, not sweet talking them. Hard talk, put pressure on them to wake up and start thinking and doing something for their lives and for all of us. You see young people in this country, all they keep saying is that you're paying for. The Impeniful are operating on borrowed time. Their time is fast. They shouldn't be there.
Sure.
The young people should be in charge. Go to Rwanda and see. Go to some other countries and see. Young people are in charge. Young people are making things happen. Why? If you put me, myself, and you put a younger person there in terms and to play with technology, who will beat who? The young person will beat me.
Yeah.
So why is that in a world of technological advancement, old people are still in charge? That is not it. So you see, Ghana, the future is yesterday, and we're already late as a nation. So we need to really double up our efforts. But the way we are going, we are still sleeping. We're still sleeping. I mean, we're going to slow motion, slow but sure. I mean, no. We have to wake up as a people. So we have to let the young people understand that the danger they find themselves in. We are in danger. Let it rain right now. And God has been merciful to us. If it rains let it rain for like say 3 days continuous. Like sometimes it does in Southeast Asia with the typhoon rains. Ghana will be flooded forever. Will be submerged underwater. God is so merciful to us that He lets it rain heavy small, then He stops it. Even with a small rain, look at the chaos. So we must let our salvation is the young people, not Akufo-Addo, Mahama, and all the people names that people can mention out there. They are not going to solve our problems. What they're doing now is that within their time space now, which are operating on borrowed time, they are supposed to be doing things that will help kick a starter. But we're already late. Look, For instance, let me give you an example. Akufo-Addo has got a program called Planting for Food and Jobs. Okay? Which is supposed to produce food in abundance and to go to transverse seasons and times to ensure that they have a buffer stock of food so that we never go hungry as a country and that the price of food can also be very reasonable. Okay? Good. Now, this program called Planting for Food and Jobs, this is a program that we shouldn't have been doing now. We should have done this years ago, the time that we did Operation Feed Yourself. Decades ago, agricultural machinery would have been cheaper, fertilizer would have been cheaper in those days, okay? And would have used, today our parents who are old now, would have used their energy to be able to produce and build barns and even create our own agricultural technology and all those things. The science bit of it and everything, would have done it. But look at it at his age. Akufo-Addo at his age and his generation are now having to do the planting for food and jobs. I mean, so you see that we're in a mess, and then we spend 6 to 10 every day talking rubbish on the airwaves, acting foolishly.
True.
I mean, and then so the young people also a bit confused, and they don't see the need for any urgency. Then where we are as Ghana, we are in danger. Look, nations do die. Nations do die. And we must realize that. Look, we are operating and competing with many other nations. China has finished all its resources and is all over the world, including Ghana, looking for resources. Couldn't we have used our own resources to do something? But we refuse to think. We refuse to analyze. We refuse to be truthful. We are hypocritical. We are dishonest people. 1 plus 1 will never be 22. It's always 2. So why is it that we act as though that 1 plus 1 will be 22? We go to church. We don't even study the word of God. We just listen to some pastor speaking, whether he's speaking the truth or not, whether he's referring to the Bible or not, we don't know. We just go and sit down there, listen to them, okay, and then just expect the pastor to pray for you and to conjure magic. The Bible doesn't promote magic.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a good Christian, a serious one for that much. I study the Bible cover to cover. I operate to the Bible. The principles I operate with are in the scriptures.
Yeah.
So I'm not one who comes to condemn church. No, I'm a church boy. But we must always also speak the truth. Religion has been another disaster for Ghanaians. Because spirituality is different from religion. Religion is bondageous. Religion, what happens in Ghana is that the level at which we are playing this game, people are now believing that only miracles are the one things that do happen. Okay? That you can't get anything done by human effort. You can't get anything by using your brains. So the moment you get born again, the brain is dead. Yet this mind that God created is the first blessed thing that God gave to us. The human mind is blessed. It is what has created satellites, that has spliced the atom, has created scientific innovations. Look at some of the architectural drawings and buildings on this earth in Dubai and the rest. It is the mind. This mind that God put in there is already blessed.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what God gave to us. So we are supposed to use the mind. What did he tell Adam? He said, I've made you in my image and likeness. What is the image and likeness of God? God is visionary. God is imaginative. God is a thinker. God is a planner. God is an organizer. God is a strategist. So that's what you and I are. It is inherent in us. It's not something we're going to learn from somewhere else. It's in there, created already. So we go to church, for instance, What we do is to connect with God, genuinely connect with God. Let Him help us, give us some fresh ideas. And then we go to work with our human faculties and we ask Him to bless our efforts. But in Ghana, we just troop into the church, everything's the pastor. The pastor must conjure miracles that don't exist even. So they also keep telling you stories. I'm not saying everybody, I'm not bunching everybody together, but we have a lot of them. And so religion has become a bondage. Tithing is supposed to be on your earnings. If you haven't earned money, you don't tithe. Your earnings. But pastors will deliberately keep quiet. That's right, and just be collecting your money, collecting the money. Look, all I'm saying is this. Our nation, we need to lift up our game.
Yeah.
Look, the game is so low. That's why your pastors and imams and malams and all these people taking advantage of you. Because we have debased ourselves. We have devalued ourselves. Ghanaians, we are operating only 2% of our value. We are operating only 2% of our capacity. We are operating 2% of our capability, no more than that. That's the truth about Ghana. That's why we need to wake up. The time has come. 64 years. Look at our condition. A huge mess. A huge disaster. A catastrophe. So, enough of the complaints, enough of the crying, enough of the emotional sentimentalism, enough of the laziness, enough of the small thinking, enough of the waste of time and resources. It's now time for our nation to wake up, rise up, begin to think, begin to have a plan that works, that will turn around our nation, that will galvanize everybody together. President Akufo-Addo at this time, critical and crucial, he is operating on borrowed time as leader because he should not be leader by this time. Somebody far younger shall be leader, but because our arrangements were wrong as a nation, he is leader. Thank God he's there. So what he must do is to kill himself to make sure that his legacy, he will put in place the necessary things that will do a catch-up from the past that we failed. So we catch up with what we're supposed to catch up with. He must put in place the systems, the structures, and everything. He and his administration, they must kill themselves to make sure that, listen, they put everything in place. They change our mindsets. That the culture of the country will change. That the negativity of society, a leader's job is to change the negatives of society. It's not only just about economic development. Mindset, attitude. Where is the program for mental and behavioral change? President Akufo-Addo wants Ghanaians to participate in a new type of development. Yet, he has no program for mental and behavioral change. You cannot use these same people who have been, going to toilet on beaches to promote tourism. You cannot use the same people who have been removing their, their somethings and urinating and gutters all over the place to bring about sanitation. It's not going to work. The people's mindsets have got to be changed. Our education, right from home, parenting, the schools, the on-the-job training, all those things must prepare us towards being the #1 class excellent citizens. Citizens that love the country. Citizens that will preserve anything Ghana. Citizens that will be thinking of the future. Citizens that want to make sure that we're fellow feeling. We're sympathetic. We're empathetic and compassionate to one another. I mean, listen, what we are doing is a huge mess. That's why I'm confident enough to say it's a huge mess. Because where we are today as Ghana, we're supposed to be far, 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 far ahead. Look at Dubai. What has Dubai got? Yet, look at Dubai in the 70s. Look at Dubai today. Are they not the same human beings God created? Are we not the same? Have we not got the same brains? We are not cursed. Those of you think we are cursed. We are not cursed. It is our leaders who have messed us up. We are not cursed. We have had jokers and clowns as leaders. That's why we're in this condition. And so those who are there right now, they should really act fast. President Akufo, he needs to act fast and make sure that his government changes the game completely. I like some of the programs I see him working on, but those programs too, we need to look at each of them and make them better. Planting food and jobs. What we should be on every day, like Singapore did, like other countries did, was that every day we want to add value to it. So we want to make it better every day. Better. So we're doing constant research. We're not just satisfied with we've done it. Free SHS, wonderful. Wonderful. But for this free SHS program, what would happen to lots of young people in this country? With the multiplier effects of crime and the rest. So it's a big thing. Nobody should downplay free SHS.
That's true.
But the fact that it is a great program that's given access, okay, and now quality is being worked on, all those things, it doesn't mean that it's always without fault. So let us look at it. And President Akufo-Addo and his government should be open-minded enough to get inputs from this thing to correct it. Now, for those of us also who sit on air and then just get up and just run down everything, if you are the one who created the thing, would you be happy when it's just run down like that? We can criticize, but let's critique constructively. Let us critique constructively. So if you're talking about free SHS, oh, this is great, wonderful, etc. But maybe let's look at this, that. And the way we put it across, not wholesale condemnation of everything. No. This nation, I won't sit here and say that this nation has not had some successes. Just that my point is that my standard is not Abidjan. My standard is not Rwanda or Uganda. The standard is South Korea, which we started with. That's my standard. South Korea. So, Singapore, these other nations, how be it that Ghana, with all our water bodies and everything, that Burkina Faso, we are bringing tomatoes from Burkina Faso, landlocked country. I have no problems for us bringing stuff from African countries, and Ghanaians, please, let's understand that. If it's from a sister African country, we shouldn't talk about it. It's okay. Let's trade amongst ourselves. Okay, after all, that's why we're going into the African continental free trade area. But if it's coming from Singapore, Japan, America, Sweden, then let's start talking about it. But if the produce comes from South Africa, it's another African country. I have no issue with that at all. Tomato from Burkina Faso, let's also find something we can send to Burkina. China, you are bringing so many stuff from China. Let's also find something that we can send to China. China has got how many billions of people? Let's find something, just one product, Ghana. Come up with one product that we can send to China. You know the amount of money we're talking about? It will change the value of our city immediately. Our balance of trade will change immediately. The most successful nations in the world have two things. Trade, they are masters in trade, global trade, and then masters in industrial development. This is what we should have done. And Nkrumah started it. Maybe some of the arrangements were not just in order, but he started it. Like South Korea did, Japan did. Those enterprises were state-owned enterprises. Some of the ones you see today, Toyota, Sony. And then they metastasized them into private sector companies, eventually took over. The state must use its purchasing power to kickstart some things, but private sector should take over. That's what it should be. That's the new model that we need to go for. We have wasted so much time that we spend time talking a lot of nonsense in this country. You see young people, young guys, seated, instead of thinking how they can transform that grass into something, how they can pluck some neem tree leaves and create something out of it that can and place a commercial value on it. They are just talking about women, girls. They're always talking about girls. Listen, when you make the money, the women, they like the green bills. They like the green bills. So when you make the money, you don't come. Forget about the women issue and focus on your life, focus on your future, focus on building yourself up, educating yourself, being competitive, change your thinking, your mindset, the way you think, try and do something, come together with your friends to create new things, innovations, and other things as well. That's what our country is. This is the truth. Today, I didn't come to bring any lecture. I didn't come and do a structured interview speech. No. I wanted to come and pour my heart out to Ghanaians. Ghanaians here and abroad. Another interesting thing is our diasporan community. Ghanaians in the diaspora. China, because it was a communist country, nobody trusted communism in those days. China needed money to finance some of the new innovations that they created in businesses. Nobody was ready to give China money. How can you trust people like that? Dark wealth, they'll never give your money back. So what they did was that the Chinese government gave incentives, what we've been giving to white people who come to invest in Ghana. Red carpet treatment, incentives, make sure when they come or they bring their money, it's safe, they invest it properly, they give them all the approvals they need quickly, no delays. Nobody will sit in some office and want you to give them bribe before they sign your document for you. No. So, and then what they did was that even to give more security, they said all the money should be channeled through Singapore, because Singapore had got an offshore banking and captive insurance legislation. So a lot of foreign banks had come and set up there. And that's what it is to today. So the monies were sent to Singapore, and Singapore will give the money to China. So China had to make sure that they pay Singapore back the money. Otherwise, the owners of the money will be attacking Singapore for their money. And that's how China got capital. Look at the huge diaspora community we have all over the world, Ghanaians. Our people are in all countries you can think of. Some of our people are occupying very high positions. Presidents of banks, vice presidents of banks, admirals in the US Navy. Our people are everywhere. What are we doing to collect that powerful resource? They have knowledge. They have knowledge, superior knowledge. They have got access to capital. They can connect with partners too. Equity for equity. They can get equipment. What are we doing to harness that thing? What are we doing? For me, all our leaders have failed with that game. It's a powerful resource base, I can tell you. Look, if I'm a president and I fly to a foreign country, I have my ambassador try and make some arrangements so I meet investors in those countries. And I go and talk to them. I come all the way from Africa. I go and talk to them. And then a Ghanaian who is living in America, for instance, or Europe, this Ghanaian works with the white people. He lives with them. Who will be able to convince the other, the head of state who flies from Africa, or the Ghanaian who is resident with them there, who knows their thinking, who they believe, who works with them, they believe him. Who would they listen to? The Ghanaian in the diaspora, not the African president. You see, we have our everything mixed up. We have our priorities wrong. We're spending a lot of valuable time on useless politics.
That's true.
Yet politics is supposed to be a vehicle for constructive development, so we can compete with other nations. But look at what we've done with politics in Ghana. The kind of crap and nonsense.
It's pathetic.
It is. This is what we've done to our country.
Yeah.
So you realize that we're not thinking. Lee Kuan Yew was a thinker, not just a thinker. He was a visionary. Look, Lee Kuan Yew said something. He said, look, I want to apologize that I've put a lot of my energy on a certain group of young people. But he says, let me explain myself. He says, out of every 1,000 babies that are born, there is a certain percentage that is near above average and near genius. Listen to me very carefully. Above average and near genius. He's talking about IQ. IQ basically meaning that your appreciation of colors, designs and analysis, those things. Then he says there's another percentage that is also below average. Then there's 1, 2 that are totally down there that you may call something like that are low in the analytical thinking, appreciation of colors, figures, and stuff like that. He says, I focus more on the near genius and the above average and near genius, because they are the ones who lead in society. They are the ones who change society. They are the ones who develop society. But in Ghana, we have mixed everything together. Everything, we bunch everything together. So we're not able to divide even the word of God. Rightly dividing the word of truth, we're not able to do it. We mix everything together. Bible says that, look, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things shall be added. The Ghanaian is going for the all other things first. So that is the situation. You look at the countries that have developed, South American countries, the amazing basin. There were areas that said nothing could grow there before. Today they've grown soya bean and they're exporting the oil all over the world. Nothing is impossible on this earth. Nothing is impossible. God has given us the ability, capabilities. Listen, he has given us all that it takes, that if we only pull ourselves together and stop the enmity amongst ourselves, the time wasting, insulting one another, tribalism, ethnocentrism, especially our those who are supposed to model our development, model us, politicians. Look at they are the worst offenders.
That's true.
No, let us speak the truth in this country. 64 years is a long time. And we are off track and behind time. We need to realign.
I was going to have asked your perspective whether the future of our country seems bleak or golden. I think you've answered that. Yeah.
Yes, I'll tell you what. 1 + 1 would always be 2.
Yeah.
You cannot. No. Today is what? Today is Friday, right? How do you know today is Friday? Because yesterday was Thursday, isn't it?
Yes.
And you know that tomorrow will be Saturday because today is Friday. You can know what your future is going to be by what you are doing today.
Yeah.
If you want a good abencoin with all the communities inside it, you don't just come from town and say, abencoin drop from heaven. No.
Like man.
You have to prepare it. You buy the right ingredients, everything, and then put it together. It goes through a process Okay, a process. You put a little bit of this, you put a little bit of this. It's not Berman coin that you just pour everything in there. But if you talk about proper cooking, it goes to a process. Ghanaians, we don't pay attention to detail. We don't pay attention to detail.
That's true.
But we must have engineering, the mindsets of engineers. Engineers solve problems. They don't give up until they never give up till they've solved the problem. They go through processes because they know that different temperatures at different times, different products you've got to put, raw materials you've got to put in there, different chemicals at the different stages. They respect timings, the right timings and everything. So Ghanaians, our education must produce the kind that has got engineering thinking. The thinking of engineers. That's what we should do now as the country. We must produce people assertive. We're too laid back. You see young people in Ghana, when they're getting up from bed, to yawn, it takes them 5 minutes to yawn. Then it takes them another 30 minutes to straighten their leg out of the bed. Young people, when by that time, the Chinese young guy has gotten up already, has moved, started producing something in his garage. Go to Taiwan and go and see. They don't have space. But every little corner, you see some small machine somewhere. They are producing something. China, same. The guy is in the classroom studying. At the same time, he's producing. So break time or after school, he goes to produce. He does his studies all right, still goes to produce. Whilst in the classroom, he's on Alibaba.com selling something that he has produced. Then you are here. Daddy, mommy, sugar daddy, sugar mommy. Unfortunately, our politicians have not been the best example when it comes to that. They always speak to the young people, that don't do this, don't do that, don't be morally bankrupt. But they are so morally bankrupt. How can you be an example to all these young people out there? Our politicians lie like anything. How do you expect our young people to speak the truth? And these young people, listen, with more sophisticated thinking, when you are old, you cannot run. They are the ones who come and attack your house.
That's true.
The children you say you love, what future do they hold? The children that you have at home that you say you love, what future are you preparing for them? What future does this country have for them? No, you see, I came today to just stimulate new thinking, to get us to start doing some introspection. Think of ourselves. I came to tell us our true condition. Stop all the sugarcoating. The nice figures we are touting around in economics, some of them are necessary, yes. But those figures, like macroeconomic figures, should spare economic growth, should spare industrialization, should spare agricultural revolution, should spare an export drive. A country with a golden future is a country that has got a banking system that works. When I say banking system that works, it's not one that just takes your money, puts some small interest on it and give it back to you, and every little thing they charge you for it. Even when you smile to them, they charge you. A banking system is one that supports industry. A banking system is one that supports trade. A banking system is one that supports agricultural production. Because we need agricultural production to feed industry. And I've told you that all the developed countries that have made it, industrial development and trade. So at this time of Ghana's history, what we should be focusing on is global trade and industrial development. The industrial development will create jobs. When you enter a shop, and you pick a product made in Ghana, Jata cement, whether Ibrahim Hama is an NDC or an MPP, it doesn't matter. Jata cement is Ghanaian. Jata cement is a quality, is qualitative. It's not substandard. Jata cement is employing Ghanaians who feed their families, pay children's school fees, so we won't have armed robbers in future or criminals. Jata cement pays electricity to ECG. It pays water bill to Ghana Water and Sewage. So who the hell are you to say NDC People's Company? So what? So what? If Akufo-Addo wants to build a house, now build some big structure. Can't he, if he uses Jata cement, would the building collapse? After all, if Jata cement does well, it adds to the country's GDP. So the president, who is an MPP man who became a president, called Akufo-Addo, he gets the credit for a good GDP, a good economy. More jobs are created. So why would you go against Ibrahim Hama or Jata cement? Or Apino soap, like that happened under Rawlings in those days when they run down companies. I mean, kill companies. They killed our industrial base in this country. All sides in the political divide have been doing this nonsense.
I can see, Mr. Sam, you are so charged and you are hitting the nail right on the head and speaking truth to power. I don't really even, I'm even short of words, because you're actually saying exactly what is going on in our country. And I can even see from some of the comments that our listeners are bringing, and I would want to read a few so that we could proceed with the discussion. Sure. So my producers, if you can project the comments so that we can read them. Okay, this is from John Akwete Amuzu, and he says, we will even start importing water because of Galamsey. And Godwin Major says, Ghanaians are not benefiting anything from our own land. I saw a few more comments. This from Nana Yao Aman Sam Boafo, and he says, Uncle Sam, if the raw material is wrong, there is no amount of engineering techniques that can produce a good product. Leadership has been our problem since after Nkrumah administration. This is from Nana Yao Boafo. I saw a few more comments. John Akwete Amuzu says, we consult some men of God to pray for us for a breakthrough. Ejriba Kujo says, very true. The Lord bless your handwork. He doesn't drop manna from heaven anymore. Absolutely, Ejriba. I saw a few more, if I'm right. This from Nana Yawboa for once again, and he says, Chene Jonas Pro Max, Uncle Sam, more fire. All right, James Tugby says, you are a great listener, Madam Joyce. Thank you for not interrupting Uncle Sam. You do great. Keep it up. Thank you so much, James. This is Ima Adiza, my colleague host for Nokwari Nunye. She says, watching you live. Thank you, Ima Adiza, for watching. This from James Tugby, and he says, leadership must be visionary. I cannot agree anymore. This is Osajifo Kobla Asameni, and he says, congratulations to you, Uncle Charles Sam. And Gideon Terrier says, wow. Okay, so keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming as well, so that Mr. Sam would appropriately address each and every concern of yours. So let me quickly also acknowledge my sponsors once again, and then we would come back to the questions that we have for Mr. Sam. Okay, I've seen another comment from Sunny Baba, and he says, tell them to fix our country. Oh, Tom Tom. This is from Sunny. You can see from his comment that he's getting frustrated, and he's saying we should ask our leaders to fix our country. Okay, let me quickly go through our sponsors for tonight, and then we would proceed with our discussion. So I want to say a very big thank you to Authentic Sales, which is an online sales business that deals in original Apple products and anything fashion, ranging from ladies' heels, men Lacoste sneakers, office shirts, belts, trousers, perfumes, etc. Authentic Sales, they provide quality products at affordable prices. You may kindly contact them on 020-800-2854 for your quality products. We also have Jody's Kitchen. Jody's Kitchen provides amazing meals as well as real good and tasty food. For your homemade food, shuttle, kitchen, and event services, look no further. We also have Taylor the Cobbler, which is also an online sales business that deals in shoes, boots, leather clutches, bags, etc. You may contact them on 027-9214-846 for great deals and instant deliveries. Finally, we have Afranis Cuisine. They offer real good and tasty food as well. For your homemade shuttle food, kitchen, and event services, look no further than Afranis Cuisine. Thank you all so much for sponsoring our program each and every Friday. We encourage other business entities to also do the same if they wish to. Thank you so much. We'd want to proceed with our discussion for tonight. Okay, I've seen another comment from Adia Pena Akosia Ejewa Kodi, and she says, Joyce, you are doing well. I'm so proud of you. Uncle Sam, you are right. So Adia Pena cannot agree anymore. He says, Uncle Sam, you are right. He's absolutely right. Okay, let me move on to one of the questions that we have for him. Okay, Mr. Sam, we want to find out from you, in your perspective, I mean, from your submission, we can tell that Ghana indeed does not have a golden future, but a bleak one, of course. We want to find out from you, what are some of the issues that are bedeviling our nation that makes our country bleak, or the future of Ghana bleak?
Number
if you
one,
can highlight a few.
I have raised the first one already, which is leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership
Exactly.
is a critical factor.
Everything rises and falls on leadership.
Yes, because we must be led to the future. We must be carried along. We must be galvanized around specific goals and objectives. Okay? We can't be dispersed all over the place. You go to the Bible, and all of you go and search for it. The last verse in Judges, the last verse, it says, and in those days, Israel had no king, and everybody did what was pleasing to him or herself. It's a picture of the continent of Africa, where that word king or kingship stands for leadership. In those days, Israel had no leadership. They may have had people who were there occupying positions. They are power holders. They are not leaders. Leaders are not self-centered. Leaders are not just visionary. They're competent. Listen, they've got integrity. They're always concerned about the people. They fight the people's cause. Leaders unearth the riches in people to be able to build the country for the benefit of all of us. Leadership is always focused on the collective, not they themselves, their friends, their cronies, a few of them. No, their party. The danger about Ghana is the partisan politics we're doing. It's called excessive partisanship, overzealous political rivalry. It's dangerous. It is dangerous. And people are gradually losing hope in democracy. Go on the ground and feel what is happening. Sometimes when you're in leadership, you tend to be blind to so many things that are going on. I remember a particular African head of state. I won't mention his name. But I went to him in the bedroom and then to discuss a problem in the country. It was a very serious problem. He took it so lightly. I was shocked at his response. That's when I realized that this man is disconnected with reality on the ground. Another head of state that had an alliance with another country, military-wise, in the what you call the Jubilee House of their country. It's called the State House. The president was upstairs in the building. That country that brought in the military people to help them had ordered its military to leave. The military were downstairs, packing themselves to go. The president was upstairs in the room and didn't know that that was the activity that was taking place. That's what happens to African leadership. Totally disconnected with reality. Because they have a bunch of sycophants around them, a bunch of stomach direction people, a bunch of self-seeking people around them. Leadership, you've got to put people who are even better than yourself in different subjects around you. You shouldn't be scared of having the best minds around you. We must put the best minds forward in our country. Look at the institutions of our country. And we keep complaining, but they are Ghanaians, so why do we give to foreigners? Listen to me carefully. Employ a Ghanaian. I'm talking about some of the things you want me to talk about. Employ a Ghanaian artisan. You have a plumber, maybe your water is, your pipe is burst. He comes, your house turns into a sea. The Togolese, the West African artisans do a brilliant job. One of the problems with Ghanaians is that we're in a hurry. We don't take our time to bake ourselves well. So when you go to as an apprentice, working with somebody, you're in a hurry to even steal his customers and go and start the business. Yet you haven't learned the job well. If I'm glad I hear President Akufo-Addo recently talking a lot about vocational and technical education. That should be our focus as a country. We've had enough of the humanities, the management, and all those things. All those who are the managers, what has happened? They've turned to damaging directors. Instead of being managing directors, they're damaging directors. So leadership is the overall being. That is what we must get right. On another session, we will do pure leadership. I will go into detail what exactly we require in leadership. We talk about leadership, but nobody really explains in detail and relate it to our unique situation, because we have a peculiar situation. Leadership has the same principles all of them, but the application or the practice or the conduct of it differs from country to country. Ghana, for instance, or other African countries, leadership must not just be visionary. It must be inspirational, because we've got a majority population of young people, new generation people, and they need inspiration because the environment is so discouraging.
That's true.
Our environment is so discouraging. Anti-progress. Pull him or her down. Steal the idea from him. Steal the idea from her. I must get something naughty from you or nothing happens. So you need leadership that focuses more on the young people, the new generation. That's where trouble can come from as well. Because they've got a lot of energy within them. But the energy needs to be properly directed, to be structured very well. Those doing Galamsey in Ghana, they may have some kingpins as well. But if the young people are doing it, isn't it? Those energies, those young people must be taken out of that mess. Because they're involved in an activity that they earn little money. The big men who own those, whatever it is they're doing, at once get more bulk of the money. Now, these young guys will get sick because the environment is being destroyed. Now, water. Ghanaians may have to import water at some point in time. It's not a joke. It's the truth. Our water bodies are all destroyed. Recently, Abu Jinapo, the new minister for for mines and lands flew over Ghana. I have flown over Ghana before and seen the mess. Whilst you fly over England or some other country, you see the greenery and the water bodies blue, so nice. You go to Seychelles and Mauritius, you can actually see it under the water. Blue. Look at ours. The beach one too, we go and drop all kinds of cargo from inside us on those beaches. But look at it, go fly over the country in Ghana. We have destroyed our forest. Selfish people we're not supposed to export rosewood. People are exporting rosewood. They're cutting all the timber. So you know when you cut your forest too, you are inviting environmental issues, troubles. Desert, a lot of sun, and they can destroy. Then look at the water. Water is life. Let's move on. So leadership identified. Another time I'll go into details of leadership. But we need qualitative leadership. We need authentic leadership. The fake leadership is too much. The game players are too much. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. People are too much. The self-centered people, the people with nothings who overnight have a lot of something. Too much. Visionaries, long-term in thinking, long-term sustainability, beyond elections, competence, depth, thought, not emotions, then integrity. These are the factors requiring leadership. Leadership that can carry us along and take us to a far better place. Leadership that recognizes the energy that lies in us and will work to make sure that it will put in place education, the right education, whether it's practical, whether it's vocational, whether it's technical, whether it's managerial, or whatever type of education, to bring out the best quality, the best that can. Because education, listen, education itself on its own, as its definition, is not for you to gather knowledge for yourself. The prime reason for education, and everybody should listen to me very carefully, is for you to appreciate your surroundings, the needs of your surroundings, the needs of people around you, your judgment of issues and people and stuff, and how you're going to solve them. You make it your prime endeavor, your priority to solve them. So if you see our leaders or our people who are today, leaders or occupying some big company, CEO, whatever it is, and all those people are looting, they are doing the wrong things, they are uneducated people. They may have gone to classrooms, they may hold degrees, but they are uneducated. An educated person makes it the prime endeavor to solve problems around, to change the situation around, to meet the needs of his fellow men and women. So if Akufo-Addo is president today, or Jahamahama is president today, their prime focus must be to lift up the people from where they are to a far better place. To lift up the educational standard, to make the education relevant to producing the goods and services we require as a people. If it's journalist, you've got a qualitative journalism, journalists who speak the truth, journalists who report what is right, the fourth estate of the realm. These people will look at what is really happening and bring it forth for the good. It's not to bring down some government. It is to bring the thing forward so we all look at it and solve it. After all, if they bring it out and the government of Akufo-Addo solves it, the credit goes to them.
Yeah.
So why would you hate journalists? Go after journalists? Why would you undermine the work of journalists? Some of them may not be official government policies, but it's a result of certain individuals, overzealous political rivalry, excessive partisanship, all those things. So leadership is everything. 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 It must be foresighted, futuristic thinking. You don't only think of now. Because the world keeps changing by the second. And then we're here. We're pursuing digitization, and it's a very brilliant thing we're doing as a country. Some people are crying the port, because before we used to steal in the port. Before we used to undercut the custom duty. It's time for us to be real Ghanaians. It's time for us to pay our taxes. It's time for us to do what is right as a people. You are talking about what is not helping our country go forward. I'm mentioning them one by one. Leaders have got their own. We've also got our own. We're a bunch of crooked people in this country. Hypocrites. Then we finish and go to church, lift up holy hands to God. Dirty hands have been lifted up to God. We're stealing. Somebody employs you. You steal, change figures, steal money, and disappear. Steal money and go to America, forgetting that there's a God in heaven who is watching you and will pursue you. You give birth to children and all of them have got cancer. You don't understand.
True.
We a great nation, like we pray in our national anthem. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. It doesn't manna or not fall from heaven. God will not come and send angels to come and build Ghana. He told Adam, I've made you my image and likeness. Now build this damn thing. Make it a paradise for yourself and generations after you.
Yeah.
Turn it around. You have the means to do it. You have the capability to do it. You've got all that it takes to turn it around. So that's what we're supposed to be doing. So everything about ours as a nation, as a country, should be geared towards putting our energy into what is most productive, what will turn us around, what will give us the best name in the world, what will make us respected and dignified. Why? You employ a Ghanaian. That's why nobody wants to employ a Ghanaian again. Ghanaian workers are business killers. They kill business. That's the truth. Ghanaian workers kill business. Bankers, you find them, bundles of money are brought from the Bank of Ghana. Then workers in the bank will be removing some of their CD notes and putting in their pocket. And sometimes cameras have caught them. Government should have priority areas and make legislation around them. So everybody, bankers, everybody realize this is the priority of government. Let's put money into it. For instance, we decided, okay, maybe carpentry equipment, carpentry works, carpentry and joinery. We must have perfect finishing so we can be global standard, we can attract the market from the world. The finishing must be up to scratch. If it's fashion wear, the finishing must be up to scratch, properly knitted. When you open it, you will see zigzag and something turn. No. But it's in order. Let's legislate it. Everybody will be doing that thing. So bankers know this is a priority. Let's put money into it. Those who have got business capital, let's support this thing. Then we can produce for ourselves and then also export. We'll be creating more jobs. If you walk into a Ghanaian shop and pick up a made in Ghana product, what are you doing? Let me tell you. You are supporting, behind every Ghanaian product is a factory that produces a product. That factory employs Ghanaians who have got families, who have got children. That factory pays tax revenue to the state for development. We want roads. We want water. We want light. We want everything good about our country. Government are buying. Doesn't conjure money. Buying takes money through taxes all over the world. This is the story. We may say, we are paying too much tax. Who told you that? Go and see what is paid elsewhere. The only problem I have is that our taxes are wasted by our leaders. Our taxes are stolen by our leaders. Our taxes are chopped by our leaders. Our taxes are shared amongst family and friends and other cronies, etc. That's my problem. But taxes we must pay. And Ghanaians, it is time for us to be real. But it's not a one-sided thing. Monkey know the word for baboon to chop. Our leaders ask us to tighten our belts, and they are widening their belts, widening the belts of side chicks, widening the belt of party people. When we should be, what we should actually be doing is using the taxpayers, the tax money for our collective good. That's my only problem. But taxes we must pay, because that's how development is going to happen. The only also issue is that revenue, what do you call them again? Ghana revenue. They need to work smartly and innovatively to expand the tax net. We've been talking about expanding the tax net for long, and well, now I see that some action is happening. The national identification card that gives an automatic TIN number. Smart idea, smart one. So everybody is going to be captured now and identified now. And the moon to me Johnny tax abroad, social security number. Everybody has got a certain number, so you identify. Recently, when Joe Biden gave $2,000 each to people, every American got it because they identified every American. Now, I'm happy that Ghana, after such a long time, we're coming nearer and nearer now. Now we're going to have the national ID card. Some of us have it already. That's an automatic TIN number. Smart idea from Ken Oforiatta. That's smart. Second thing now is that we have a digital address system. Digitization is a great thing. Great. It saves. It makes us competitive. It makes us more efficient. Okay. It ensures that we advance as a country. We have a lot of savings. All those ghost names and on payrolls and things will be no more. On the carton of duty at the port and things will be no more. So all of us, the money they come back inside. So if we want our country to go forward, if we want to have an increase in salaries, our productivity must also grow big time. Productivity in Ghana is low. Workers are demanding money all the time. You forgive us, tripartite agreement, and we will forget more money. Let us value what you produce. Let's be truthful to ourselves. Politicians are sometimes scared because of the lies they've been telling people. They are scared to mention some of this because, hey, I'm afraid they don't vote for me. Me, if I'm head of state, damn the next election, I will do what I'm supposed to do right and walk away with my conscience free.
Yeah.
That's what I expect President Akufo-Addo to be doing. He's an old man. He has got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
He should do what he has to do. But make sure that his appointees also do the same. Make sure that his appointees don't shortchange us. Make sure that those around him are doing what is right. Let him put put the big dreams forward. We are ready to work as Ghanaians. We are ready to turn around our situation. But we've never had heads of states who position themselves ready as ones who are serious to do that. The time has come now. 64. Enough is enough. The young people of this country are frustrated. The young people of this country, I tell you, are confused. The young people of this country are running and getting closer to hopelessness. A hopeless people are a poor, deprived or demoralized and insecure people. Dangerous. They have got nothing to lose. They will destroy anything. Go around this country and see our young people, the condition of young people in this country. Accra, even Accra said, Tema said, go and check it out. But go to the villages and we'll see. Where there are coconut trees that we are supposed to show them what to do with it so they can generate some cash. The coconut husks can be used for a certain type of charcoal, that's exported. Who is helping them to do this? This is what we should be focused on as Ghanaians. We have now an address system that is made you, now when you go to a bank, you can't take a loan and run away and go and hide in the bush. Go and hide in Kukantumi. Now, just by the app, good job done. Digitization everywhere is great. But the most important of all things for the turnaround, digitization is great, is trade and industry, that's the economy. As a matter of fact, the Minister for Trade and Industry should be called the Minister for Economy. Maybe we should change that in Ghana sometime to come. Because the economy is trade and industry. That's what, so in Ghana, the current Minister of Trade, Alan Chamati, Alan should be like the Minister of Economy. And all the factories that he has promised in all the what? One district, one factory. We are waiting. We have seen some. Hallelujah. But Ghana is far behind time.
We still have a long way to go.
We still have a long way, so we are waiting. We must double our efforts. We must work faster than we've been working before. The other thing, outside leadership, is our mindset and attitude as Ghanaians. That is the disaster as well. Because if your mindset is correct, if your attitude is correct, you won't be voting wrong leaders. The same people who keep looting you, the same people who keep messing you around, the same people who have done nothing, they keep recycling them. I'm surprised in the NDC, and I'm not doing partisan politics here. I'm surprised in the NDC that they still keep wanting to bring Mahama. I've not said there's something wrong with Mahama, but why? Ghana now needs trade and industry. Ekoskopio Gabra. He's the man in NDC who is up to it when it comes to trade and industry. So why don't you put our best minds, our best minds to run our country? Like Lee Kuan Yew said, I've kept quiet for quite a long time in this country. Today is my first I'm doing, and when the flyers came out, a lot of the media houses started asking me, why didn't you come to us and all whatnot. I'm going to start speaking on these topics I'm talking about today. Today is just the opening. And on this platform, Today Ghana News, they've been kind enough to offer me a platform. Very shortly, we are going to have a program called Golden Future.
Great.
I'll be hosting the program myself. Today, we're just tossing ideas, but we're going to break them down systematically. Then we know what to do, after we analyze, what do we do going forward? You call a Ghanaian official. So what is the situation? Well, you analyze the problem, and sometimes not even thoroughly. Then it's okay. So how do we solve problem? Well, we have to form a committee. Damn it! If you don't have a solution, why do you come and talk? Anybody who talks must have a solution.
Solution, yeah.
You must have a solution. All right, don't open your mouth and talk. We're tired of talkers in Ghana. Talkers are too many. I told you that we don't only need visionaries and we need achievers. We need achievers. Ghana needs achievers now. We want results. And the best results, not some mediocre and quencher results. The next thing, key, mindset and attitude. Our mindset, excuse me to use my language, is screwed up. We need to rearrange our mindset. Not only in the classroom. Classroom education needs to change, and it's changing. I realized that Dr. What's his name again? Dr. Edu Chum seems to understand the game. I've been following him. He seems to understand the game. So they're working on the curricula and those things. Great. If you go and compare the current new curricula to, or just go on YouTube, education in Singapore, education in South Korea, education in Finland, they are the best countries. You realize that yes, we are getting closer there. Classroom education, it should be interactive. Credits must be given to university students in classroom who do constructive piece of evidence or develop their own understanding. That's how come we become independent minded, begin to think on our own and create our own. Others will be a nation of copiers till death. One man creates space to space, everybody creates space to space. Nobody has any value or thinking.
Yeah.
Thank God today, I understand that by if my figures are right, that we have 40% of our cocoa being processed in Ghana. Hallelujah. But that's because we are far behind time. Yeah. Ghana should have been the chocolate capital of the world, not Switzerland, not Dubai. We must be not just the number one cocoa producers of the world. We must leave that title. We must become the number one cocoa processors of the world. The number one cashew processor of the world. Not Indians come to buy our cashew and go to process it somewhere else and get the money. Look, Deng Xiaoping, the man who's credited with China's turnaround, he said, listen, value is what gives you money. Value gives you money. It is not the raw material. All the CSIRs and all the scientific and industrial research centers and all the herbal medication that has been researched properly and backed with science. What are we doing to produce them? Go to the Arab countries. They take in a lot of sugar, like they're drinking water. So they have diabetes. Can't we sell to them and make money? Why are we still down? Why do we allow big pharma to be controlling us with white man medication alone? When God has blessed us with, look, recently I wasn't too well. There's something called Koun Susua. I mean, I'd never heard it before in my life.
Turkey berries.
Yeah, turkey berry. Green, bitter.
Yeah.
That is what did the magic for me. My blood levels were almost zero.
Wow.
The hospital put me on Totima. Nothing was happening. The heart began enlarging. Because it was pumping what didn't exist. It is Koun Susua, and it doesn't cost anything in the market. That did the job for me. Koun Susua is the one that sorted out a couple of other issues, including kidney. It is bitter, but you take it. Can't we export all those things and make money to solve? The Arabs have got problems with health because of sugar. Go to Mauritania. Every home you enter, a small tiny glass of green tea, China green tea, and half that small glass is full of sugar. Why? All the herbalists you have in Ghana, there are some quack ones, yes. But there are also some ones that have been backed. I think UST have done some research on that. That place at Mampong, I've forgotten the name of the place as well. And other people have produced stuff that people have gotten out of diabetes and high blood pressure in this very country. Not with white man medication, but with herbal medication. That is billions of dollars. So why are we still down here? Why doesn't government focus on some of these things? Pump some research, let's get results. That's what I love about Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrumah wanted apple to grow in Ghana. He researched everything, put all the pieces together, from agricultural extension to whatever, to get the result. That should be our attitude. We should not take no for an answer. We must, it is possible. Possibility. The young people are discouraged because we have not taught them that it's possible. We have not taught them that you can make it. We have not taught them steely determination. We have not taught them to work hard. That listen, you may suffer today, but tomorrow you enjoy. What have we taught them? What have our politicians taught us? They are the best example. What have our pastors in the holy orders taught us? They are supposed to be the best example. What have our parents taught us? They are supposed to be our first encounter with leadership. What has our community leaders and chiefs taught us? Other than selling lands, buying akpeteshie with it, marrying 20 chicks. What's that? Banks are there not to just park money and sit on it and laugh that we have money. Banks are there to support economic enterprise. Banks are there to support economic activity. Banks are there to cushion you. Banks are there to make life easier. When I say easier, it doesn't mean that Ghanaians go and take loans and go and chop. You go and take a loan, or you go first thing, buy 4x4. By the way, 4x4 is not a town ride car. You use 4x4 when you have to go out of Accra into villages, into the rough terrain. It's not a town ride car. It's not a car to flex, to get women. 4x4 is not for that. Count the number of 4x4s, whether private or government, I don't care. The amount of fuel he uses, calculate the cost to our country. You see, we must have our leaders talking to us like this, like in such a revolutionary manner, like I'm doing. The South American nations that turn around, the Asian countries that turn around, this is how the leaders talk to them. The leaders don't only talk to us when some chief has come to visit them in the Jubilee House, or when somebody has come to visit them in the Jubilee House. No. And I'm not singling Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo is a president today, and I expect a lot from him. That's why I'm on his head. But those who know, Akufo-Addo is my friend. But I'm one African, friend or no friend, mother or father. The agenda, the covenant is to the country. Yeah. The covenant is to the continent. If you see me calling his name like this, I want him to do more. Turn things around. Leave some legacy. Proper one. Legacy, properly. Because listen, so our young people will not slip into hopelessness. Our nation will not slip into chaos. Crime will be on the decrease. Policemen will be friends, not having to go chase after people. Our military will not have to go around sometimes beating people and stuff like that. No. We can live together in civility. National security can deal with you in civility. No, you know, I sorry those of you who are used to very structured speech. I didn't come and do that today. Today I came to break the ice. So you see, bit here, I'm hitting a bit here, hitting a bit there, hitting a bit there, hitting a bit here. To annoy us, to irritate us, to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, damn, why do we take all this crap? Why have I done this to myself? And stop blaming only government alone. No, all of us there inside. All of us there inside. Handsome young man, good looking. Then you stand by the roadside and remove some private something and be united. How bad? You see women in Ghana. Women in Ghana. Oh, they roll or something, and then, oh my God, how? And yet, you don't mosquito to survive in Ghana. Don't be here. Don't be here. Your environment to be stinking. And you'll be eating watching by the stinking thing, licking your hands. And you say African germs make you fat. God have mercy on all of you. One more point I'll give to you.
Okay.
Is our failure to work effectively. We put energy to do some things, but you realize that some of the things you haven't put real thought to it. Like I told you, engineers thinking. Okay? That is, go and just study what engineers do. And you realize that type of thinking is what we must have. We must pay attention to detail. Ghanaians don't pay attention to detail. We're so emotional about everything that we don't pay attention to detail. These days, you talk to a young person, you are giving the person advice. The person, they are watching to see whether you're putting your hands in your pocket to remove something for them. That is not the way. To gain something, you must have some pain. And you go through some tough times to gain something. Nothing comes easy. The miracles that do happen, you see some genuine pastors are being used to, because they don't perform the miracles. God is the one who does his own thing. He uses them. So the correct ones, or ones well positioned, he uses them for that. When you have tried, or you have tried by human effort, and it's not happening, you talk to God. He does an intervention for you. But not when you have not done anything. You haven't used your brain, you haven't used your hands, you haven't used your legs, you've used nothing, and just spread, oh yes, manna should fall from heaven. Miracles should come. I believe in miracles. They exist. But they exist within the proper context. Now all we do is that we do nothing for ourselves, and we just go shababa, yakaba, lobroski, ba, and that's all we keep doing. Listen, some of the tongues it never develops. The same tongues since 1954. No progress or advancement. I come once again to what has been another bane for us. It is supposed to be a source of inspiration. Church. Unfortunately. And pastors get jittery when I mention some of these things, because they tend to think that you are clouding all of them together. I haven't bunched everybody together. I know some who are doing the great stuff in this country, who are applying the right doctrines and everything. But there's a large chunk that are just into this game for money and other practices that are not biblical. How I wish it was those days, not the era of grace we're in today, where light will just keep striking them one by one. Then we see all of them one, one. The church, I want to focus on the church before we end.
Okay.
It is where we're all addicted to, we've gotten to. Why doesn't the church, like it happened under apartheid, and the black churches became the rallying point to advocate development, freedoms, liberation? The church should not only be setting up schools and universities, no. But on that topic, let it become a high point of education. Because listen, we believe our pastors, we believe our churches. So that becomes a low-hanging fruit for us. But the pastors should not lower the bar. And on account of the people's ignorance, they don't study the word of God and stuff. So you can just lower the bar, and the people do, the practices are far below bar, all because as a country, politicians have failed us. Because elsewhere, they'll be praying to send machines to the space. We are here praying just for Omo, na Dokun, na Banku, Yebedi. Yes. When you tell the pastor, say the leaders or the politicians, damn it, we know what some of the pastors have been doing too. Go around and see. I'm not saying all, and let's not bunch all of them together. No. You too, as a Christian, study the word of God. Then you know who is real and who is not real. You're able to discern the correct pastor from. The Bible says, test every spirit. You don't read nothing. You go to church after church. Hallelujah, praise God. I claim in Jesus' name. You lie. You lie. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. There are wicked people in the church. Christians, wicked people. Listen, let us get things right. And I want us to be doing programs that will set the arrangements right. Our arrangements have been wrong in this country. They've been wrong. And I would expect that one like President Akufo-Addo, with a depth of knowledge and experience in life, would put certain things in order before he leaves. Certain things that have happened in this country should not be happening again. It should end under him. It should end under him. I love the man. And that's why I'm talking so passionately about it. Mm-hmm. Because we all know him. Listen, there are things he has done in this country that we all admire. But all of us have got to wake up now. Every one of us. Every Ghanaian has got to wake up. Every Ghanaian has got to rise up. 64 years. Enough is enough. We cannot continue on this path. We cannot continue in this condition. Everybody is to blame. Yes, leadership should take the chunk of it, but all of us are to blame. Because me, I kept on voting these leaders who are not correct. I kept on voting them in. So, enough. Let everybody say enough is enough. The young people of this country, my last word is to you. You see that a lot has been wrong. We have been shortchanged in many ways. Not everybody. But we are not where we're supposed to be. You see energy in yourself. You see innovation in yourself. But there's no support. Nobody's even there to tell you that maybe come together, start this a little bit, try a little bit, that guidance, mentorship, some sort of support. Nobody's there to tell you these things. There are bankers who live in your area. They will either call you bad boys or they'll even take your girlfriends from you. But those bankers who live in that area should be community responsible. That look, God has placed me here in this community. What can I do to better the life of people in this community? The young people in this community, the girls. You don't have to sleep with the girls before you help them. You're going to stand before God in judgment. I can tell you one thing. As somebody too, they be catchable. Some of you, certain sickness and things happen to you because of some of those things that you did. Because some little angel girl of God that you want to touch, that you're not supposed to touch. You know, I'm going to be speaking more on this country. I'm going to go wild on this country now. Young people, I have no cheap words for you. I have no soft words for you. I give you hard words. Some of you are sleeping. Some of you are acting dumb. Some of you, all you do is complain. That yet you can go and take trotro and go and sell ice water and still make money in dignity and then come and save and build on that. Once you are sent ice water, somebody will just see you with favor and say, oh, this guy looks a very handsome boy. Auto ice water. Yeah, no way. Come and see me. I remember telling some young people in the area, Saturday, dress nicely, take your water bottles, go to the people who are working in the offices, go to the house in your area, tell them you want to come and cut their grass. You don't want anything from them. Go around them, say you want to clean and everything. One of the houses they went to, when they went to, about 6 of them, there was a bank manager. Apparently, the man was a bank manager. I think deputy managing director, rather. When they saw the man, and they didn't see him initially, so they cut and everything. So the man came out and wondered which young people that are not collecting money, because young people now you love money more than who's this? Mobutu Sese. So then he asked them, "What is your background?" University degree, polytechnic diploma. He said, so he looked at his children in the bedroom. He feeds them and everything. They do nothing. He said, listen, Monday, 2 of you, come and see me in the office. They went to the office. Through voluntary free service. Young people, listen to me carefully. I have done free service plenty. The man employed 2 of them that very day. He bypassed all protocol and employed them. All they did was an aptitude test. He employed them that very day. Then he said, listen, I have another friend as a banker. Let me speak to him. Another two were also employed by another bank. The final 2, one called another factory owner, and the factory owner employed them. Young people of today, when you are asked to do something, do it very well. Do it from your heart. Don't ask for money. That could be your key into the future. I have done all kinds of menial jobs before. Some of you see us and think that it happened overnight. It didn't. Kotoka International Airport, I used to weed grass. There were snakes in those grass by the runway. Big snakes. I used to weed with cutlass, and langa, what they call langa. My hands were all full of blisters. But I used to get small money to take to school. Let's change the mindset. If because of some girl, you don't want to be seen cleaning the street, too bad for you. Go and clean the street. Get the green bills. That same girl will chase you like hell. Young people, wake up. Stop the blame game. Stop complaining. Stop the grumbling. Stop the crying. Take destiny into your hands. You can change the situation. Many people have changed it. Go and look at the story of Ken Oforiatta, where he started from. Cantamanto. Precision multimedia. Cantamanto. Despite. Despite. They started from scratch. And many others. Otin Jesse and so on. They call their names.
Yeah.
They started from scratch. Today you get up and just insulting them like that. Learn from them. Go and read about them. Find out about them. Young people, you have to learn to go through the process well. Some things don't happen overnight. You need to go through the process. You need to learn the ropes. President Kufuor, that's what he always tell you. He learned the ropes. He went through several governments. He learned the ropes and eventually became president. Akufo-Addo did not become a president overnight. Mahama did not become a president overnight. He started as a deputy minister. He started under Rawlings, of communication, went through several places, etc. Mama has been an assemblyman before.
Wow.
So young people, change that your thinking and the mindset. We are going to educate you people so you begin to do the right things, take the right steps, and then also take over the country. I mean, become responsible. Become responsible. In your little corners, start responsibility there. Don't wait for your teachers to tell you to clean somewhere before. Take responsibility. That's leadership. Start being a leader now. Respond to responsibility.
Great one there. I think, thank you so much, Mr. Sam. I'm really, really glad with how you really hit the nail on the head tonight. And I'm sure that all our viewers listening to us are also very excited and they've taken so much from what you've said. I mean, there's a wealth of knowledge that you have shared with us. You've raised amazing points, splendid submissions and all that. We really, really appreciate, especially with the words to the youth and to our leaders. You've really spoken truth to power. And then also, you have spoken to the hearts of the youth. I want to say a very big thank you to you for honoring our invitation tonight. We hope that, as you mentioned as well, that you would be holding or you would be hosting other programs on this very station. We hope that many people would tune in as usual, and then they would pick out all these amazing knowledge that you are sharing with us. And I also want to specially thank you for tonight's program, because per our statistics and every other program that we've held throughout, today has been the day that we've had a lot of views on our satellite channel. We've had 2,322 people listening to you, a whooping number of 2,322 listening to you. And it's really, really amazing because this is unprecedented. So we want to say a very big thank you to you. And we are hoping and we are anticipating for the program that you'll be hosting as well. And we
Can I
hope
say something quickly?
Yes, you can. You can.
There are better people than me in Ghana here. Plenty of them. Find them and bring them on air. Let them speak.
All right, sure.
There are far better people with better knowledge, better detail than I can give to you. Anybody here. And listen, I'm not doing you people a favor by coming here.
Okay.
You people, listen, you are doing me a favor, because God has deposited something in me, got me some experience, raised me up to a certain level that I should come and pour out to better our society. I'm doing myself a favor by preventing people from becoming armed robbers and thieves and the rest. So you're not doing me a favor. Don't stop this my busy schedule and stuff. If I don't come here, I have no fulfillment.
Wow. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate. I mean, we thank you so much. And also would want to end here, but then the little I also have to for my audience is that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children. Therefore, let us play our part, our individual part, our collective role, to make sure that posterity will be proud of us someday. So as usual, I have been your host for tonight, Joyce Ohenewakwapon. And until next time, meet us same time next week at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Empowerment Our Show. We hope you enjoyed tonight's program, and we hope that you will continue patronizing our programs. God bless you all for tuning in. Have a lovely and amazing weekend. Bye-bye.